period, and that they hung out a lot was what she classified it as. But she said, I couldn't tell you the last name, but she does know that there was a Juliet.
Can you, before I reach out to her or someone does, can you try to get me that last name so I can learn a little bit more
Sure.
about Heather before I talk to her?
If I can get internet access from here.
No, don't worry about it. Whenever, just call me back with it.
Okay.
That's fine.
It may be later this afternoon or early evening.
You got your. If you can stay on task there for me with your mother and father and work through that, I'd like to know who she is before I call her.
I'm pretty sure it starts with an L, but I'll get you the full last name.
And then you provided, I'm skipping around here a little bit, but it's all relevant. You provided these forms from your sisters. We're not sure if they're accurate.
I'm not sure
but
I'm not sure how they originated.
they may be things linking the work situation.
At least more recent contract work that it's looked like she did this calendar year.
And there's emails that we probably can find.
Yes.
Okay, we need to sign all these for me if you don't mind. Keep track of what I got when. Anywhere. It's fine. Thank you, sir.
Absolutely.
I will sign those. Okay, so we've got everything that you brought. We have photocopies of that is pertinent at this point in time. The phone calls, number 5. The phone calls in regards to you and I talked about the conversations that you had with your sister. And looking back, she told you on the 15th that she hadn't seen your daughter in 31 days, correct?
Correct.
July 15th.
Yes.
Which would take us back to June 15th, roughly. Is that that again?
Nope.
Okay.
Media.
Oh. Okay, phone calls. On your sister's phone records from, I asked you about statements she's made about the 15th and 16th, getting a call from Caylee around noon.
Mm-hmm.
We looked at phone records, and you seem to think that she called 411, well, we saw it, and then shortly thereafter she called a New York State number. She also called a New York State number just prior to that.
Right.
And a 321 number here that's local.
Mm-hmm.
I made note of those things so I can look those up. Anything you want to say about that situation?
Yeah, aside from it just has stuck out to me, I really haven't scrubbed through it as I have the other records yet.
And you haven't called any of these numbers?
No, I have not. I have not solicited any of these people to find out who they are.
Okay, to the calendar, number 6 was, and we'll go through the calendar here in a minute, but number 6 was, you know for a fact the last time, you can raise your right hand and say, I saw Caylee, was June 5th, Thursday, at Mom's house, your mother's house. Mm-hmm. Tell me about that.
It was my mom's birthday, so, naturally go over there to wish her a happy birthday. And didn't spend a whole lot of time with her. I had some prior obligations that, that I was going to also, but just trying to stop over. But I will confirm and make sure that that's the right one, but I can at least tell you right now that under my current understanding that was the last time that I've seen Caylee.
And Caylee was there?
Yes.
But your sister was not?
No, Casey was not there, no.
Okay. Number 7 was a conversation we already had about the items that you picked up from Tony's apartment. Question expenditure. I made note, and this is linked to item number 9 that we discussed. You asked about an expenditure of $111.01, which we had as a target expenditure.
Yeah, that was one you said was Amy's.
Right.
It was that $92.
But that was a receipt that you saw But from your financial investigation, you can't see where
I have
that was from your mom's card?
Yeah,
or?
I had no idea whose checks those were.
Okay. Yeah, they were Amy's. That was Amy's. Okay. Best, and I'll get with Mom and Dad, but when you're talking to Mom and Dad, the date of the gas can incident. Tell me about the gas can incident first.
Sure.
At your parents' house.
And this has been, I've just been able to piece this together from hearing from my father and mother and from Tony Lazaro. Was about a week prior to the time when the Sunfire ran out of gas at the Amscot. About a week prior to that, my sister had ran out of gas close to the home, called Tony to come get her. Tony brought my sister per her request to my parents' house. He stayed. My sister asked him to stay in his vehicle while she go inside to get gas cans. So he explained it as her being inside for at least, what would probably be 10 or 15 minutes, enough for a few songs to play on the radio.
So Tony took her to your mom's house in his Jeep?
I have no idea what.
You know how they got there, but they just got there to get some gas.
Exactly. So Casey, then emerged with her with the gas cans. But when I heard about the gas can story from my father, was that he said that someone had. So we have these little padlocks on our sheds in the back. Typically, we don't even keep them locked. Someone had broken into the shed, taken the gas cans out, and he was pretty sure that it was Casey. And then we were able later to find out that it absolutely was. Tony said that Casey did indeed get the gas cans. He didn't know that she stole them. And Casey, I guess, had admitted to my father during a brief stint where she just popped in at the house when she gave the gas can back.
Let me ratchet that down.
Mm-hmm.
The second time, then, that your dad was home, and he hears rooting around in the house. Not on the 20th, the date, not that Friday before, or thereabout that she ran out of gas. A week before the Amscot on the 27th.
Somewhere in between.
Somewhere between the... Okay.
Somewhere in between the 20th and the 27th.
Somewhere...
And again, the 20th is an approximate date on when she would have ran out of gas.
I'm just going on that because she
Not a
text
problem.
messages some friends that says, what are the odds I run out of gas 2 Fridays in a row?
There you go.
So that's in Amy's text messaging.
Then there you go.
Okay. Even the FBI called that a clue. And that's a joke that I use. I'm not saying anything bad about the FBI. Man, I'll get fired over that one. Damn.
You forgot about the tape again.
I'm my own worst enemy, man.
But yeah, sometime in between that time, it was conveyed by my father that my sister had shown up to get a change of clothes. He was already at home, like at a break from work or something like that. He heard the garage door open. Casey comes in. Hey, Dad, here to get a change of clothes. She gets a change of clothes, goes to leave outside the house. My fathers are outside the house to try to say, we haven't seen you, what's going on? Is everything okay? Blah, blah, blah. And it was at that time when my sister was going to throw, the change of clothes that she had just gotten. She was going to put them in the trunk. And, my father, he had a motive. He knew that the gas cans were in the trunk. So she kind of returned them forcefully by saying, here are your effing gas cans. And
Let me ask you something about that, and I'll ask Dad, or if you get a chance to talk to Dad about that. Did Dad actually see the cans in the trunk, or did she grab them and then...
She grabbed them from the trunk, gave them to my father, and again, forcefully gave them to my father. But like I said, the reason why I know it was between that time was the gas cans went missing approximately that time on the 20th. The car was towed at Amscot on the 27th, so for her to have those gas cans in the vehicle and be able to provide them back to my father, it had to happen within that week.
I'm curious, when you're talking to Dad while you guys were working on the timeline, if Dad got close enough to the car to see if there was any... Was Tony in the car at that time? She was by herself?
That was never conveyed. It was conveyed that Caylee was not with her, that no one else was with her,
And-
but any other.